All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you fucking laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, and all that.
Here we go. Welcome to the 122nd episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Emmett Smith episode because I just walked in, had to come up with an athlete, and he's the most famous 22 that I know. I could have gone Andrew Wiggins, but he's a new dude, and he has that fake fro thing, and I tried it and didn't work out, and I don't have enough money to have $100 shape up. So fuck Andrew Wiggins.
True.
Plus, he's an ex-Cavalier.
Yeah. This is the Deuce episode. Yeah, I mean, we come with the Deuce. Yeah,
He's been waiting to say that. Like, ever since last episode, I know he was like, yo, I'm going to throw out that Deuce. Deuce is wild, or Deuce is from South Central. Listen, I am half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined, as always, with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? I am Dave Bracey, and if you're looking for us, we are Drinking Partners, and you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook under Partners Pod, man. 122 episodes we've been asking y'all. You know what I mean? We're going to continue to ask you, man. Please, hop on iTunes, rate and review. That's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well. So please, rate and review, man.
Hey, you love us. When you see us out in the streets, you let us know you love us. Now just click that link on the internet and tell the internet. And in lieu of rates and reviews, we do take shots of Henny. Shout out to DJ Car Guy, or Car Guy DJ.
Car Guy DJ,
That's his Instagram. We're not going to put out his government name, but just get on his good side, because he'll throw you a shot of Henny, too.
Oh, man, always. No, James Longbow,
he
man.
Just put the man's whole government out.
He's on there in this government, man. I fucks with James heavy, man. He did a little NPR dip, you know what I mean? He was down there. He was representing for the new blacks in Pittsburgh, on the NPR. He's been a fan, man. He's been a supporter, and we fucks with him too, man. So shout out to that. I mean, and if you leave a review, might get yours read on that.
Just like right now. So we have a review from Robert Logier or Logier. I don't know. I'm trying to make your name sound cool as hell. It's probably Lager. He's from if he's from Pittsburgh, it's probably Lager, but it's Logier. All right. He says review is titled "Too Good." Best way to start the morning is laughing with this podcast. You get to learn about local talent and local businesses while seriously having a great time. 2 thumbs way up. All right.
Nice.
That's what we do. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep y'all hip to what people are doing in the city and have a good time doing it.
Getting shit-faced, Well,
I can't agree with being shit-faced. I have some things going on in my life where I'm not pro shit-faced at this time.
I'm still pro shit-faced. And DDs are always good. You know what I mean? So what else? If you listen to this right now, right? I mean, you're like, oh man, they sound smooth as shit, right? We don't sound like this in real life. This shit don't sound nowhere near as smooth. I sound like a drunken tractor trailer driver type motherfucker with the corns and shit. I don't know what to say. It kind of sounds like he is.
I sound the same. I'm very nasal at times. It's just weird.
Man,
my voice is very weird.
I'm definitely voice fish out this bitch. But the reason why we sound so good is Epicast, man. And if you're looking to sound better, maybe you want to start your own podcast, need help promoting an event, or maybe you want to advertise your product on an award-winning podcast such as this one. I mean, we
got some troubles.
Yeah, a couple in.
We on the live stream. If you look up a little bit, it looked little on the live stream because the camera takes away 50 pounds, but that's a big ass plaque.
Yeah, screenshot it and blow that bitch up. It says that we're the best podcast in the city. But anyway, if you're looking to do that, go to epicastnetwork.com/services. Fill out the form and tell them that the Drinking Partner sent you. I mean, get that hookup,
Give us a referral. That's basically what this is. Give us a referral. Now, most of you people work jobs where you understand that referrals have some financial incentive. Not the case here, but just give us the referral anyway.
I just want Buzzy to be like, hey, yo, somebody said. I'm like, oh, people listen to this shit? Dope.
Yeah, we get enough referrals. Buzzy's going to videotape my next birthday. So let's get more referrals.
True.
We got some stuff coming up. We have our first Bricolage show. We're back downtown.
First Bricolage back downtown finally, man. I mean, we've been up in Cranberry. Cranberry been showing us mad love, but people keep hitting us up like, yo, when is y'all gonna be in a place where I ain't gotta hop on a turnpike?
Yeah. We had to make a couple moves, but now we back official. We downtown at Bricolage June 17th.
Yeah, down at Bricolage. You can. We're as always. It'll be BYOB. And we've got Brooklyn Brewery. Brooklyn. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be sponsoring that event. So as always, it's going to be free beer. BYOB. It'll be downtown. Tickets will be $12. So look out for details for that, links and whatnot. But if you're out and about, come holler at us and drink good. Laugh good and leave good.
Drink good, laugh good, leave good. And then go you still got time after our show to go have a night on the town. We're done about 10:30.
Yeah.
You go out, have a night on the town. You're already properly lubricated. If you come with a lady, she's open because she feels, what you brought to the table, your experience you gave her. So it's all good for everybody.
Them tickets, I mean, come on.
$12.
$12. That's that date night for $24. You going to get fucked up. You going to bring your own shit. You going to get a little bit when you're there or whatever. And then you go on to the town. You live it cheap. You ain't going to have to buy her too much. You're going to be fucked up already. And then you can Uber at home.
Here's the thing, too. You could go back to your college swag with this. Like, you could have a Grey Goose bottle and fill it with Blatty at the BYOB show. We don't call you out. We don't even know. You know what I mean? So now you're not even spending a lot on the bottle.
Yeah,
you just come
run
with
that bitch through
the Nikolai.
Yeah.
You got the Nikolai in the Grey Goose bottle because we've all done it. I don't know if that's even legal or not. Like, that's technically date rape, baby. If you show up with a Grey Goose bottle with Nikolai in it, like you
drink it like it's Grey and then wake up like it's Blatty. But do it. Whatever like I said, $24, man, it ain't too much you can do around this bitch. $24 and get as fucked up as you gonna get and have as good a time you gonna have down what we do. So do that. Bricolage June 17th, man. Look out for that. Also June 24th we'll be over at Comtra, our monthly.
Back out there.
We got Gab Benesso headlining that. That'll be
shout out to her. She just released her album too. Go get that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be a good time. We got we'll have another beer sponsor doing that. BYOB. And if you're looking for tickets, it's contratheater.ticketleap.com.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I think that's all of our.
I think that's all the events that we got going on. For the thing, we are drinking some great shit, courtesy of our guest today.
Yeah, yo, super excited. We got some gentlemen coming from Irwin, which I don't know where the hell Irwin is, so that's going to be my lead question. But we have Fury Brewing from Irwin, PA. We have Tom Jenkins and Ryan City Slicker in the building. Say what up to the people.
What's going on?
What's up?
All right, we like it. Y'all interviewed together before, huh? This ain't the first time. Like, y'all got the whole thing going. I see. How often does he get called City Slicker?
Pretty much every day by me.
So I gotta come up with something. Better.
I probably heard it.
Right, yeah. Nah.
What about Slick Puller from Pretty Ricky?
Nah, I haven't heard that one.
Exactly.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah,
there it is with the slider.
There we go.
Slider.
Don't let me go.
Slider on the Slicker.
Slick got more game than a little bit. You ain't never heard that, baby? Ride on me.
I have.
You ain't never take that? Like, Slick got more game than a little bit.
I haven't heard it
You
for
walk
myself
up to a chick
personally.
at your own brewery and be like, Slick got more game than a little bit. Slider IPA. That's a pickup line that nobody else has. You can have that.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
yours to have. So tell us about this brew that we're drinking on right now.
I'm going to pass this off to Tom because this is his recipe. So.
All right, so this is Nuts of Fury. It's one of my first. Gotta love the name.
You're drinking our nuts. You're welcome.
Probably the most catchy name we have
That's
in the
not a
lineup.
thing that I've never been described as. Nuts of Fury. I ain't doing it right.
But yeah, it's a brown ale. It's one of my first recipes I ever brewed as a home brewer. And it progressed probably 1,000 times over. And this is the final product now. It's going to be biscuity. It's going to be nutty.
Yeah.
So it's heavy on the malt.
Yeah, no, it definitely tastes like a biscuit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nutty. I don't like to say that in front of a room full of men. Like, it's a very nutty feel in my mouth.
Well, you went
Must
to a
have the
whole
experience.
Nuts of Fury soliloquy, fam. So you don't pull back now. That's where you at with it.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of nuts.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of nuts? No. Are you the type of motherfucker that put nuts in brownies?
No, I actually don't like nuts and brownies.
No,
Yeah,
nobody
I
should
agree.
like nuts and brownies unless they're a fucking terrorist.
Them little 50-cent brownies with the nuts is all right, man.
No,
Like,
man,
that gets you through when you were
Well,
young.
they're all right because they're at
It's
the top,
50
so you
cents.
could just wipe them bitches off. Like,
Exactly.
don't offer me a brownie and I'm halfway through a chew and realize there's a
Crunch.
motherfucking nut in this. Yeah, I mean,
It can't be like a whole nut pause in that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to eat a brownie and a whole ass almond just chilling in the
I don't
middle.
even
like,
want the bits in there. I just don't, like. I like it. It's an like when I have a brownie, I want it to be a brownie. And if there's nuts, give me let me know there's nuts in that bitch. Don't just serve me a nutty brownie and don't tell me that there's nuts in that bitch.
I
That's
think
two different
that
experiences,
is-
man.
I think that goes across the board. Everything you always gotta let a nigga know if it's nuts.
There's
in it.
actually
Yeah.
no nuts in this beer.
like,
Yeah.
like let me know if it's nuts in that bitch. Don't let me find out when I get to the crib.
I just put a doggy bag of this bitch back home.
But okay, so Ryan said this is your recipe. So with your recipes, do you generally get to name them yourselves, or is there like a naming process that you all have? I'm very interested in how the brewers come up
Yeah,
with these names.
we pretty much just bounce everything off each other. And this one here I named before we actually even started organizing. But most of the names come from him. Our other partner that's not here today, he's a pretty creative fella. So he comes up with some solid names. Some of them pretty wild off the
Sometimes they don't get named till after they're in our keg, and we're like, what do we name this? Because we have to put it on the label.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you gotta eat the mic. Like you really gotta. Yeah, they're you're just gonna get comfortable with that bitch. Yeah,
Okay,
just
you can't do that.
just put that like.
That's not gonna be acceptable.
I got you now.
You just put that bitch on your chin and let it sit
Pause
there
with
for
all
another
that.
hour.
Okay, so this podcast getting off to a far too nutty. Like this is too many nuts, and I generally say that when it's all dudes in the room. So that's consistent with me. But how did you guys get started with Fury? So you said there's a third partner. Like, were you all brewing prior to Fury, or did you not know each other until Fury? Or
Yeah, we were all home brewers to begin with, and we started doing shows, doing charity events, and we had people asking about our product and where they could get it at, and we decided, maybe we have something we can market.
Right.
We did some more shows. We did it for about 3 years, and then we just took the leap and decided to just, basically
you guys
invest.
sound very much like comedians. That's exactly that you do charity shows.
Yeah.
Because you out here making nothing, and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna make this leap, and I'm just gonna throw all my money into it. So yeah, I respect you. Now I understand y'all.
Yep.
So how long you guys been doing this Fury thing?
Oh, we probably a couple years.
Yes.
It's been 2.5 years or so in the making
Yeah.
at this point. Like you said, doing charity things, just doing like 10-gallon batches, going to. We've actually done other tastings around Pittsburgh, just off our homebrew set and market as Fury until we got our full setup going.
Oh, nice.
Smart.
So
Keep
how long
it-
has Fury been open?
We opened, was it
March 24th.
24th, yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
my grandmother's birthday.
See? Good day.
Yeah, it's a hell of a day. I don't know what it was like in America back when she was born.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a good day for us there, but it is now.
Yeah.
Nah, it's dope.
Oh, this is dope. This is amazing. What is ABV on this?
6'1", I believe.
It's right there, yeah, 6'1".
Super smooth.
I can respect the 6'1". I could do a 6'1" on a Sunday. On a Sunday, a 6'1" is perfect. Ideally, I'd be at home watching my boys sweep Toronto, because that's what we're doing right now. We're sweeping Toronto, and we're gonna beat everybody else. Y'all into the NBA at all?
Can't say that I am.
Just because they don't have a team here. I do watch Pitt, though.
All right, but you do realize that Pitt plays the same sport as the NBA. I just want y'all to
We
realize.
just don't have we don't have a team here. I think if
man.
maybe we had a team,
I feel that, but
Pittsburgh all the way.
For most of my life, it didn't feel like we had a team, and we've always had the Cavaliers. But they wasn't worth saying we got a team until.
But then I have to root for Ohio. I don't want to do
Okay,
that.
so that's the basis of it. So why do people hate Ohio so much?
It's a shithole.
I'm not gonna agree with that. I might have to disagree with that totally.
Well, it's Ohio. Like it's Ohio, North Carolina, and Florida. Every time I look on the news, it's one of them. It's a Russian roulette. Like if I hear some wild shit, I'm like,
That's
spin
because
it.
Pittsburgh tries to bury its news. Like it'd be some crazy shit happening.
Maybe you
here.
guys need a better PR team, but I just
no, we
whatever.
keep it
Y'all
real.
letting all y'all garbage get out on the national news, and I
We
keep
keep it
turning it
real.
on. And, Ohio is the Florida of the North. Like it really, like It's but I fuck with the Cavs. I like
Nah,
Cavs.
don't be
closest.
trying to clean it up. There's no cleaning it up.
They like I
after
fuck
that.
with LeBron and the
Y'all
Cavs.
talking
They the
reckless
closest,
right
like
now.
they're the closest basketball team that we have. Like I mean, and I root for the Cavs. I mean, not the Cavs, but like the Browns. Like I root for the Browns. I tell people all the time. Like I mean, I root for them because I wanted the division to be strong. I mean, I wanted us to have a strong, and it's like that brother route, and we had
we
that.
have to
But then
move
y'all
on,
moved
'cause
to
he's lying.
Baltimore. And I mean, what you guys got now is just like motherfucker. Like I mean, every motherfucker. RG3 was coming. I was like, all right, maybe this is a new start, motherfucker. Like I mean,
Yeah, well, RG3 played what 3 quarters, and then that was it.
yeah, motherfucker. Like every time, I'm like,
That's
maybe
crazy.
maybe they'll just have a winning season this year, motherfucker. And just like it's tough.
So I'm not gonna sit here and listen to Dave lie about how he roots for Cleveland any further. So, home brewing. How did you guys get started? Were you into craft prior to home brewing, or were you like we were? Where we always talk about how we drink cheap beer.
Like, how did you guys
early
meet?
20s?
Like, and how did you guys get into this? Like, did you guys get into it individually and then meet up, or
Yeah.
did you guys know each other? And
Yeah.
then, so how did you guys get into it individually?
Y'all in-
I started homebrewing in my apartment probably about 8 years ago, just on the stovetop. Wanted to try it out.
with
Yep.
the wrist motion.
Yeah.
Slick got more game than little Slick in there. Clockwise, counterclockwise, it's all in the wrist. I feel you.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I got into doing bigger batches. Entered a few competitions, did pretty well. So like I got good feedback on my beers, and then I met these guys working at a bigger corporation. I don't know if you want to name them or not.
We'll just say Big Red.
Yeah, Big Red. We'll call it
All right.
a cable company.
All right.
So-
All right. Yeah, go on.
So yeah. Needless to say, we didn't like our jobs there very much.
Yeah, I don't like cable, so I get it.
Yeah, cable not to move no more. And the cable, they done got slick. They packages, they got the bottom packages like not even cable anymore. Like you got to upgrade to get TNT. I'm like, how the fuck I got to upgrade to get TNT? TNT used to be free. Like they don't they don't even give you HGTV. Like that's a premium channel or something.
They don't even give you motherfucking like sports anymore.
All I
Shit.
need
Like,
is
I
Root
didn't rea-
Sports and ESPN. That's all I need.
I didn't realize that like the Penguins game wasn't showing on just regular old
Yeah,
pulled up an
nah.
antenna. Like, yeah, I mean,
Nah.
like all the local games. Like I grew up in an age where like a local game came on as long as you had a wire hanger.
The last game did. The last game did.
It's
No, the
more
last
than
one,
a
Yeah.
but I didn't know that until my friend
Right.
was like, "Yo, like you could watch it at my house." I was
Right.
like, "Wait, you ain't got cable?" He was like, "No, but they were gonna." I'm like, "Wait, they always had a shit on? Like it's local, like
Yeah.
like I could." That's wild as fuck.
Yeah, cable companies got slick because we were stealing cable for so long. They just started taking shit away. Like now you get mad. I get mad at people who just have too much access to TV. Like I'll see a good game on TV, and I'm talking about the one game, and then here come this asshole who got the red zone or the league pass or something. Talking about how he saw every game. Like, what you doing with your life, fam? That you watching 12 NBA games on a day or 5 NFL games? Like, come on, man. What you gotta show off? You know I got regular ass cable. I only talk about stuff that comes on regular cable. You know what I mean? I talk about the news and the weather, shit like that. Like, I don't be talking
You hear
about.
about that cat in the tree? That shit was wild.
Shit was
like,
crazy. There's a fire on the north side on Tuesday. Like that's all I be tweeting about.
So you were working for one of the giants, and you were like, "Fuck this shit," and then you started homebrewing and shit. Like, how did that? You know what I mean?
Well, we were homebrewing before that. But I started actually when I was younger. I started with my great grandfather, and we
Okay, so there's a
man.
lineage involved.
Yeah,
it's real with you.
All right.
surprisingly though, he only did one batch of beer, and he hated it, and he never did beer again. But he was a wino, so he made a lot of wine.
Oh, so he just did beer and was like, "Fuck this," and then
He wasn't a beer drinker to begin with,
Yeah.
but he tried it once, didn't like it, and then just stuck with wine. So I did wine my whole life with my grandfather and my
Was
dad.
he Italian?
Nah,
No, it was
German.
and one of the boozy euros. I mean, you got
respect it.
you got the Italians. Italians do a lot of wines with the grapes and
Oh,
shit,
man.
and like the Germans with the booze, with the beer and shit. That's what's crazy because he's German. Instead of beer, he went to wine. I mean, and then you got the Irish motherfuckers that just go wild.
I had a client one time, an Italian guy, God rest his soul. He used to bring me jugs of homemade wine, and I'm like, you can't be bringing this into my job. I'm like,
Well, now he could.
like, this shit wouldn't pass through an airport. So
The
how you gonna
hoot
bring
nanny
it in?
jugs where
Just-
like you finish it and you go
just
hoot
big ass jug, dark jug with no label, and you just dropping it off in a grocery bag. Like, I look wild shady in here. First of all, I'm black, so they already got their eyes on me. Now you done brought me this stuff. Like, now I'm a terrorist. Like, come on, man. But shout out to him because it was good wine.
Yeah. So you grew up with the whole culture of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what did you learn from wine making and your granddad that you like, you know,
How
you
did
do
you
now?
end up with beer doing that?
Well, me doing beer actually just ended up being me being cheap. I didn't want to pay $60 for a case of an IPA when I can make, you know, a case for $30. That was my angle at it.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
but what I learned from him was pretty much, you know, just the whole preparation phase of it, sanitary, you know, how to temperature control, how you got to handle all that. It's all the same across the board. The only thing's different in ingredients and, you know, the way that you actually extract the sugars.
Yeah, because I mean it's distilling with wine, yeah.
No, wine's not distilled. It's fermented just like beer.
Oh, yeah, it's fermented like all right.
Liquor is the one that's
I'm
distilled.
a few. This is the second podcast. If you're listening at home,
For that.
or if you're watching at home, like this is the second podcast.
Now you finally get a visual of what it's
I
like to
can
sit
tell.
in this room with Dave
We
for
can
a
tell it's your
second
podcast here. He's drinking faster.
So, at what point did you guys really start looking at the quality of the beer that you're drinking and decide, you know what, I can do something better? Because I mean, I imagine before you began homebrewing, and even at the beginning of homebrewing, you know, you were drinking more commercial beverages like beers and stuff. So you probably at some point, I mean, at what point you're like, yo, this is bullshit? Or were you always a beer snob? Because we've had that on.
I was no.
You're not
At
a
the
beer
beginning.
snob?
I drank cheap beer in college, just like everybody else did.
It's how you supposed to get through college.
Yeah, exactly. Can't afford anything else. I was working at another cable company before this cable company, and I used to just play on my computer all day and go on Beer Advocate and things like that and look up different beers, and then I'd seek them out and try them. And then I started getting into the homebrew. I actually had a supervisor that did homebrewing, and we started bullshitting about it and got into talking about it, and I ended up making my first purchase, and that's kind of how I got into it myself is, hey, maybe I can make these beers. And,
With a home brewing kit?
right, yeah.
Oh, the shitty home brewing kit, they're all shitty. Nobody makes a good home. Like, yeah,
Well, you would get
you
the
have the
box
tools
sets.
to make a good beer.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, technically, with the things you're
First
given.
one was all right, and that's the best I can say about it.
Yeah,
It was all right.
People smiled
It
and
tasted
like
kinda
nodded.
like
and-
beer.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh,
Got me
this is-
drunk.
Yeah,
Drinkable.
as long as you get fucked up off it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's alcohol. Like, you telling me you hand this people alcohol that they ain't got to pay for, they all right with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, even, like, that's how people drink most alcohol. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, it don't taste that good, but it gets me whatever I want out of it.
Yeah. I'm into a lot of styles. My favorite style is free.
Yeah.
Well, we got
You know
some.
what I mean?
We have some good styles for you here tonight.
Oh, y'all got more. Okay.
Oh, we got.
yeah.
We got
You
like
can't have
3
me
or
drinking
4
too
more.
much and I'm on video. You know what I mean, I got to go home to my kids after this.
So
Oh, look,
this
he's
is-
empty.
This is our first live show, so congratulations for us,
Awesome.
for you guys being our first live guest, which
thanks
is
for
weird.
having us.
It's weird for us. It's weird for y'all. I'm sure it's weird for people at home. But part of this is that people can actually interact with us, which is weird. So if you guys are listening at home, and you got some questions, you can put them up. I'll be kind of watching this or whatever, and ask them. But Eric Nintez.
I read that. So
Yeah, he
just-
said
I'm
Pittsburgh
not-
knows that Ohio is the stepchild.
See, first of
So,
all,
again, I'm
you
not
know-
alone in
Okay,
this.
time out. I'll walk the fuck off the set. I'll walk the fuck off the set right now.
I ain't alone.
Eric-
Pittsburghers, the Jackie Page said Pittsburghers don't cheer for anything in Ohio. Again, now that's the thing where I kind of deviate because I do cheer for, the stepchild.
That's just hate,
I do cheer for the Cavs and the Browns and whatnot. But I get what you're going with that. Not a lot of motherfuckers love that. You know what I mean,
That's 2 hater comments that came on, so he had to pause and read those for no reason.
well, okay, LOL Ed.
All right.
Jackie said hello. So whatever
Well,
you
Jackie
said was
wants
hilarious.
to cook for our podcast. Like that didn't go unseen.
That's what she said.
She wants to do a food podcast.
Yo, Jackie, you listening right now? You won't bring some motherfucking
I
food
hope
down
so.
to this
She
bitch
commented on the
to
live feed.
counteract some of this booze. We with it. I ain't gonna say no. You fry some chicken? Shit.
Come on, man.
Oh, shit, Jackie, you want to come in with this motherfucking chicken? All right, so Fury, man. So like what is it what is it like now? Like, you know what I mean, because you guys are new to this, like owning the business. Like, how's your life changed? Like, coming from like, yeah, we cooking up, you know what I mean, wrist work, you know what I mean, on the stovetop, like, you know, we got the cable company and shit like that. We gonna venture out, we gonna take this leap into what we love and know. And like, what have you learned in the last, you said Fury's been open for like a year?
No, not even about a month.
Not
a little over a month.
A little over a month. In the last,
man,
what is
new.
How's your life changed in this little over a month?
There's a lot of little nuances and difficulties that come along with it. Yeah, everybody thinks brewing beer professionally is the life, but it's a lot of hard work. It is. We have to do a lot of. You laugh. So yeah, I get that all the time too. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of hard work. You know, lifting bags and, you know, make sure everything's sanitized.
You got a
and
nice
doing
bulk
events.
on you. Were you always like, that man?
Yeah.
Where you get a little bag bulk?
Maybe both. I don't know.
I lift with your knees, fam.
I try.
Don't hit your back with it.
I try. But yeah, so I mean, you know, brewing can be hard work. There's a lot of cleaning, and that's mostly what it is. And then, you know,
you make it sound like just manual labor. Like,
it is.
Yeah, I open up a
It
billion
is.
and it's just manual labor.
It
As if you
basically
ain't
is.
got to worry about loans and motherfucking like feeding families and marketing
there's
and
all that, too.
promotions and
Yeah.
I mean, there's a.
we never even got to that part yet. Yeah, we do a lot of events, so we're always busy and moving around, and again, marketing. You know, it's a lot of work.
What have you learned?
Um,
First month in,
I
because
don't
we're
know
gonna
what
we're gonna. So shout out to Hitchhiker. They're 3 years in now. Shout out, they did their third anniversary, and they're moving over to Fort Pitt. And it's crazy because we got to sit with them in their first year. You know what I mean? And they were in a completely different place than they were now. You know what I mean? It's dope. So like I feel like we're sitting with you guys like first out. So
Yeah.
I want to know, like, you know what I mean, where you're at now.
He all in your pockets and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
you
no.
gotta watch the. You know, he a government informant, so you gotta watch him, man.
So like I want to gauge like where your head is at. Yeah, I mean, like where you know, I mean, what's your day to day like different now than it was say a year ago?
Now it's not so much just the beer; it's learning the market now. Just finding what everybody around us that is, you know, coming in on a regular basis, what they want, what they're looking for, and then trying to basically create that for them.
And one of the big positives from it is we're working for ourselves. We're creating this for us. And, you know, we have to find the time to, you know, whether it's putting 10, 12, 14-hour days in for our business, we have to do that. So it's very fulfilling when I make a batch of beer and someone likes it and, you know, they tell me about it. So, and it's also tough when someone says they don't like it. You know, you have to find out why they don't like it, and you understand both sides.
We did
haters, man.
Right. Well,
we did the Apis, the brewers, the Beatnik brewers. Yeah, I mean, they were reading bad reviews and whatnot. I mean,
They were reading bad.
yeah, it
reviews
was
of
bad. It was bad reviews over like a beatnik. They had like a drummer and a celloist in the back. I mean, and they read bad reviews over like kind of like a kind of cafe style type beatnik thing or whatever. And it was amazing because you had these great brewers and all these brewers. I mean, but no matter how good you are, you're gonna have a bad review. I mean, the same thing like with the night live motherfuckers. The fucking Late Late Show motherfuckers.
Oh, the Late Show where they always
They do the bad review type things or whatever. And it's like, no matter how good you are, no matter what you do, you are going to get a bad review.
everybody has different tastes.
So how do you like now, like you're into this or whatever, how do you decipher what's good from what's bad? You know what I mean? Especially so early on. Because in comedy, like when I first got in, every fucking bad thing somebody said about a thing, I took it to heart. I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I should be doing this anymore. But you got to sift through it. You know what I mean? How do you guys sift through it?
I think we have a lot of friends, including ourselves, that are very honest with us.
Mm-hmm.
So, we sit down and have a beer. I don't want someone to blow sunshine up my ass about the beer. I want you to tell me exactly what you think of it. Do you like it? Why do you not like it? And with each other, like I'll even have him sit down and taste them. I'm like, something's off on this. Do you taste it? And sometimes he'll be like, no, it's fine. Or sometimes he'll tell me it is. So I think honesty between us and our families and friends, that's probably the biggest thing that helps us out.
Keep it close circle.
Yeah.
Now, do you all come from entrepreneurial backgrounds or more like white collar or blue collar? Because I think that makes if you're the first in your family to venture out in this sort of thing, like I'm the first in my family to pursue entertainment, then there's no blueprint. There's no one, excuse me, there's nobody to like give you advice for even the smaller things that you have to endure. You know, some with like some things with finances, or some things with just kind of having to stick to being productive, even though you create your own work hours. So I'm very interested as to like what your backgrounds are with your family.
Yeah, my family came with some entrepreneurs. My parents were, my grandparents, and my aunt and uncle. So I have a understanding and also a network of support from them where I could go to them with questions when, you know, there's a lot of stuff that comes up in the business aspect of it where, you know, I don't know what to do. And, you know, I pretty much just pull on them for information and rely on a lot of my support for that info.
That's awesome. Now, City Slicker, you got that, or you got a slick mouthpiece? I'm Slick got more game than a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't talk about a slick mouthpiece while you're drinking his Nutty Brown. You know what I mean?
Chill.
Well, we're breaking
That's
another
not
one
even
open
a
here.
pause.
We're
That's
out.
a pause is like, all right, that could be biscuit strudel. Chill is you out of pocket, fam. You have to chill. I will walk the fuck out. Like I'm trying to, like, you don't understand. This is on video. This is we have the verbal Ari Spears like relationship where he got beat up on air for talking shit. Like it's only verbal with us. Like one of us will start just talking wild shit to the other during each episode. So y'all don't feel no type of way.
Hey, don't feel bad about dumping that out too. We gave you a heavy pour, so you can try the next one if you want.
I actually have some other glasses I can just pour from.
Or we
Y'all
could do
came
that.
with merch. To be 1 month in, y'all got merch and everything. Y'all got the game. Y'all got the game sold up.
Yeah. That's early.
But no, going back to your question though, my parents owned a pizza shop way back in the day, and they had it for about a year or so, and it just wasn't their thing for them. So I'm not really the first, but I mean I kind of get some advice from them, and you know my parents helped me out as well. But when you look at most business aspects of it, financial, I look to this guy sitting to my right. So
I mean, the thing that, you know, as a comedian, I look at other comedians and I go, you know, I see their paths and wherever, you know what I mean? And the one thing that was, you know, early on I had to learn, and Ed, you know what I mean, all the, like, my path isn't your path type thing. I mean, but at the same time, you do have to take, you know, you have to look at other folks and say, you know, this is what they're doing right. This is what they're doing wrong. This is how I can fit it into mine. Like, so what are some of the things that you saw, like, in the craft beer industry that, like, you were like, you know what, like, because in order to start a brewery, you had to at least think that there was some void that you were going to fill. You weren't just going to come in and do what everybody else was doing. So, like, what was the void that you were filling, and, like, what are some of the things that you're moving forward with that, like, you feel that you're doing better than, say, other folks?
I think we just like to be creative. We don't want to stick to a certain niche in the, you know, certain beer that we're going to make. We want to make everything. So, you know, like we had a nut brown there. This next one, you know, it's a wheat beer with pineapple in it.
Wheat beer with pineapple.
Right. So, you know, we do your IPAs and whatnot as well, but we want to do other. We want to actually continue moving and eventually get into sour barrel aging and whatnot as well.
Do you all have a flagship, like one that?
Really not
really?
at this point. I mean, if anything, I would say Nuts has been the one that's stuck around the longest so far. I have another beer that I make once we get a glycol system running. It's a lager that I'll end up doing. It's called Poppin' Pills. So
Poppin' Pills?
Poppin' Pills.
Man.
Now lager typically, like, is I don't see a lot of lagers, right? I mean, because I don't know what it is. It's just, you know, underwhelming at times. So how do you make a lager popping pills?
Well, the one I use a Japanese hop called Sriracha Ace. So it kind of gives it like a lemon drop type of feel to it. A little hoppier than most Pilsners are. So it's not going to be like just your dull lager. It's going to pop with that Sriracha Ace with you.
Sriracha Ace.
Yeah.
You should call it that Kill Bill. Although that might be racist.
Kill Pill?
Kill Pill.
Kill Pill.
Yeah, the kill. Yeah.
You know, you gotta watch what you say out in these streets, especially if you got a small business. You gotta be very careful. So what did you like to drink prior to homebrewing? Like, was there a particular style or particular brand that you enjoyed most often?
I was into Flying Dog's Raging Bitch pretty heavy.
Oh, I love
Okay.
Raging Bitch, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Anytime
solid.
you can have a bottle on your table that says Raging Bitch, like if you on a date and she ain't acting right, you just turn the bottle towards her.
Subtleties. You just put on that song. While you're in the car, just subtly put on the song. Like,
Right.
man, this is about you. I ain't saying it, though. These aren't my words.
You start saying stuff like, man, this dude really speaks to my heart. It's really in tune with my emotions. They don't know what you trying to say to them. How about you, Slick? What was your beer port?
I've really come full circle. The first beer that I've got into that kind of got me into craft beer was Great Lakes Burning River. So if there's anything out of Cleveland that's good, it's Great Lakes.
Mic drop. I'm out this man.
there it is, man. No, I mean, Great Lakes was one of the first, like, you know what I mean? It was Great Lakes and Full Pint. Those were the two that, like, were at the distributor, and, like, I was like, these are fucking amazing.
They still make solid beers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do. I really like Great Lakes. I really like these two though. I'm like, all right. I'm waiting for that popping pills.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. Like,
This one's actually called Wise Khalifa because Wise means wheat beer, so it's only fitting that we want the Pittsburgh thing. Yeah, so Wise Khalifa.
Wise Khalifa.
Yeah, no, it drinks like a potion. Like there's so many things that go on from the time that you drink it to about the time that you get to your belly and whatnot, and then the after is like nice because that pineapple, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean, on the end of it, it's
a fairly simple recipe too. It's just execution with it, really.
Yeah,
that's the greatest compliment I've ever heard paid to a beer brewer. This motherfucker say there's so many things that happens from the time it goes in your mouth to the times of getting your belly. Like, I don't even know what that meant, but it made me feel good.
I like it.
That I got a cup of it in front of me.
Yeah, no, it's like it's a potion, and it's crazy the way it bubbles. Like it really does. It's you know, like I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know how to put it into words. I'm not the guy.
You got to be good with words. You're a comedian.
But if you go to Fury, get this motherfucking Wise Khalifa, and you'll understand. It'll be one of those like, oh, you know what I mean? They're like, oh,
yeah. This is the pineapple version, so we'll probably do a regular version and the mango version. So,
oh damn, is that something that's I guess normal in the beer realm where you have a style and then you just come out with different flavors? Like, did you say you're doing pineapple and all that? Like, but
yeah,
man.
Yeah,
that's almost like getting a soda beverage and you can choose your type. Like, oh yeah, I get that right there.
It's like Coke and cherry Coke, and
I just want the finish to taste different, but I want that style of beer, that same level of hoppiness. Like, yeah, that's shit.
Where are you getting this pineapple from?
Just it's actually just pineapple juice that goes into it. So we're not using, full pineapples because it's really hard to get the flavor from, just that particular, just the fruit itself. Putting that in the fermenter, and it's heavy, and cutting it up is a chore itself. But I found out just over the years, what I do is I add it after we cold crash the beer so the yeast doesn't eat it up, and it kind of gives that settled pineapple at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean that's a beauty of like brewing is like that whole like that jury rigging type process where like you're getting and you like you said it's like trial and error and understanding, where it comes from. Because when we with Trub, they brewed that Henny brew for us, and they were saying instead of having like big wine barrels or cognac barrels and doing the whole year age and whatever, you can jury rig it and throw some chips in that bitch. Right. So there's more surface contact. Yep. And I mean, like I know Apis, like they do a puree. I mean, they work with that or whatever. So like there's so many different ways that are more cost effective, but also like, bring the flavor out as opposed to doing all this extra, I mean, like.
And you're right. And for us, it wasn't anything to do with cost. It's just how can we get the flavor out of it? That's how we wanted to do it. So, and just over the years of me experimenting, that was one of the ways I did it. So
what are the two favorites that you've brewed individually? Like,
I would have to say, honestly, Nuts of Fury for me.
Yeah,
that's why it's been around for so long. And I chased after Newcastle Brown was my initial taste for a brown ale.
Okay.
But I wanted something that was richer and maltier and had more depth to it, and that's pretty much what this has evolved into. So I would probably say it's probably my favorite drinking beer. I know my dad's obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a solid.
Pops late. Pops late.
Yeah, if your parents approve of what you're doing, then maybe there you go, because they don't. They're hard people. They're hard critics.
Oh yeah.
So like how long was that in development? Like I mean.
Oh man, that was one of the first recipes. So that was probably 4 or 5 years. I've been brewing, various batches of that, just tweaking it here and there. And I think we finally got it to where exactly we want it.
So what is your favorite brew that you've?
I would have to say I'd go back to Poppin' Pills, just because it's one of the beers that got. I don't even know if I'd be sitting here today if it wasn't for that beer, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm a member of Trash here in
Shout out to
Pittsburgh.
Trash, yeah, dope. Man.
Yeah. Awesome homebrew club. I owe a lot to what I know to them. Those guys, a lot of guys in Trash, have helped me with, flaws I've had in my beers or, recipes I've had. But it all started out where I submitted 3 beers to a Trash competition, which they have yearly. And at that year, Poppin' Pills took Best in Show. So, and I literally just submitted my beers to get like feedback because, I was fairly new. It was probably 2 years into me brewing, 2-3 years. And I found out that I won it, and it was crazy. I got to brew down at Rock Bottom on their system down there.
Shout out to Meg.
Yeah, Meg wasn't there back then. But yeah, Meg's cool. She's a cool girl. Those guys do an amazing job down there. I can't even tell you how things have changed since they've gave them Rock Bottom more.
Well, Rock Bottom was there for a long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't go there until Meg was there. That's how much it changed.
Well, yeah, they used to have their normal beers, but now they give the brewers, control. And it makes a world of difference.
Yeah, much so. So tell us about that time where because you're going in this and it's a free flowing I got into beer and then I thought I was good at it and then I started brewing beer. Tell us about that moment where you were like, I don't know if this is what the fuck I should be doing, because everybody that is successful that has that I don't know about this. You know what I mean? Tell us about your I don't know about this moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would probably say it was probably during construction and, getting to the initial batches. We all started questioning it and, seeing, was that what we really wanted to do? Are we making the wrong choice here, making the right choice? And that was probably the biggest test for me was during the whole buildup, which took almost 18 months to go through all the legalities and to get the building to where it needed to be and then get all the system put together. Because most of our system, about 80% of it is custom fabricated. And we're probably one of the only in Pittsburgh or even in maybe Pennsylvania that have a full automation touchscreen system that is extremely customized.
Y'all next level. Y'all next level.
That's how you brew with touchscreen?
Yeah, we have a touchscreen interface on our panel. I mean, it controls every aspect of everything in the building, basically.
You definitely not seen that.
So what was it that made you I don't know, it was, you said the legality, you're just because I mean that's the thing that I've talked to a lot of brewers or whatever, and then they're talking about it's the weirdest shit, plumbing is a thing or zone thing. I mean just certain permits and licenses and shit like that.
Yeah.
And those are the things that as an entrepreneur you don't think of. You think I have a great product, I'm just going to put it in the building.
Right, it's just going to be able to happen. It's great. People enjoy it. I can get it out there. But then you run into the city, and the city's nah, we want to making money as hard as it possibly can be. That's basically what the city does.
Yeah, we actually didn't go into Allegheny County for pretty much that exact reason. We went to Westmoreland, jumped into North Huntington, and they were a lot more relaxed on that part of it. Okay. But dealing with getting the licensing from all the other entities that you need to get it from, that's where I started questioning myself because I'm all right, well, we got our PLCB all filled out, but then they didn't tell us about we need TTB. And that was kind of a surprise they threw in there 3 months down the road. And at that point, we really started questioning and we had to bring in legal counsel and it's a learning curve. And, we didn't know what to expect or what we were getting into. And I think that's where most of the questioning came from, I would say.
Same for you, Slick?
I mean, I agree with him 100%, but I would say maybe even the first 3 days I was brewing, my first brew session was 15 and a half hours.
Damn.
Yeah. Like you said, our system's pretty custom fabricated, and we had to work out a lot of kinks and
you're in there in the muck and the mire.
It was tough, but
your back is into this. You didn't say your back was I don't know about this, B.
It's that, and with tasting the beers, I'm oh, there's something wrong. I just question myself. I feel like my hardest critic.
Yeah, he was definitely overanalyzing things at the beginning, being real hard on himself, but yeah, it all came out better than we could probably ask for, honestly, when you got down to the finished products.
Well, I mean, that's what makes a good product when you are the anal. You're your worst critic.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like that's when I look at videos and shit. Like, you know, I get off and I'd like look at the set that I did, and I'm like, dude, especially when I'm sober, I'm like, why the fuck do people let me say these things on stage? Like, this is.
We still are trying to figure that out, Dave. Nobody knows why the fuck you can say some of this stuff on stage. I'm glad you said that in our first live show, because that's the question of the year, the question of the decade.
But people keep like fucking, you know what I mean? It's such a weird, you know, it's a weird thing. And you are your worst critic. I mean, so I think that if you don't have that, you can't move forward, you know. But it's crazy having that, like, and then getting out of it. Like, so, like I said, I mean, I guess you alluded to earlier was that your friends and family are the people that bring you out of that dark, like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And they're like, no, you're cool.
Yeah, they were definitely a support role for me, you know, in the background, giving me the encouragement that I needed to keep going.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the advantages of having an entrepreneurial background. Is like they understand, like, yo, it's gonna be a little rough, you know, in the beginning, but you know, just stick it through. And you'll see the benefit at the end. Whereas someone who comes from, I got to work to get this pension background, like they're gonna be like, well, you need to go back down to the cable company. You need to take them some cookies and see if they give you your job back. You're like, you can't get your job with cookies, Grandma. Like, that's that.
Like, the yeast is a little off on it. That's because you should have stayed at the cable company.
That's because you don't know how to sweat no more. Or did you taste your baby like, oh, he got fancy beer now. He too good to work. Like, Grandma, shut your old ass up. You lucky I gave you a beer. know that counteracts your medicine. No, but one thing I'm interested in, because we were talking to, we had Scott from Pitchworks on, and one thing he said that really stuck with me was he was like, your day is marketing and your operations. And I think one thing that happens when you become a small business, especially with people that you are friends with and have a good relationship with, you start to realize what your role is and maximize that. Have you identified like a specific role within the business for yourself? Maybe not even spoken to the others, but it's understood like, yo, this is what so-and-so does. Like, hey, you know, he's ready to taste all of the beers. He's ready to go. He'll do all the test runs.
Yeah, true.
He's always ready to taste all the beer.
You got me there. Yeah, we figured that all out before we got into it. We all knew where our backgrounds were and who was going to specialize in what. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's what we gave Ryan's full control over brew process. He has the final say, you know, and I'm more on the marketing side, the business aspect of it. And we have, you know, another guy that's, you know, Stefan, that's the other partner in this. He's extremely handy. So, I mean, anything that goes on in that building, I mean, he's got his hands and he's dabbling. Yeah, Stefan.
Steven only comes off he drinks.
I don't like
I know it's Stefan, and he makes damn sure you call him Stefan. There ain't no Steven.
Oh, yeah.
So, was that thought about, or was that something that you all discussed prior to actually forming Fury? Or I guess, did you see something in someone be like, hey, come on and take this position? Or was like already? Yeah, like, what was that conversation like? Because I mean, you're saying like you had figured out who was good at what or whatever, but like, how was that conversation? Like, this is what you're gonna do. This is what, you know what I mean? Or are you guys still trying to, like, you know what I mean, figure that out? Or, you know.
We knew pretty much going into it. You know, we organized. I approached Ryan about it. We were already probably 6 months into getting our name out there and kind of, you know, seeing if we could actually move forward with it. And I approached him, and I knew how good of a brewer he was, and pretty much gave the reins to him right off the go because I had full faith in him. And with Stefan, his role was basically to come in and do food. We were going to have a kitchen originally, but the space that we got, there were size constraints, and we just really couldn't get a kitchen in there and have the system that we wanted. So that kind of got cut, and then he just picked up another role right along the way with it. Yeah, that's dope. I think that's probably, like, a lot of times that's one of the largest problems with small businesses is like people don't understand, know their role, or they feel slighted on one end. Like, to give someone, like, that's a huge thing to look at someone and say, hey, you're in control of the brewing. You know what I mean? We're not going to interfere. You handle that. It takes a lot to be able to do that. And then that's a lot on you. Just like, all right, yeah, it's cool that I'm in control of everything, but I'm also in control of everything. Right. So, like, if the shit come out, if you're really your biggest critic and shit come out like a little off, you're going to feel that because it ain't nobody else to blame. Yeah. Yeah. You can't be like, Stefan did it.
Yeah. I mean, we just maybe blame it on him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, no, like you said, I mean, like, you have to swallow pride because you want to do everything. I mean, and just know, you know, and and have that relationship and whatnot. What is the bullshit like in the you know, in the business or whatever, where you're like, this motherfucker, you know what I mean, where's that at? Like, yeah, I mean, like,
they trying to start beef.
because you gotta, like, so because here's the thing, like, this podcast we talk about, you know, all the startups and people doing, you know, dope shit. We got people all around, you know, country listening, and everybody wants to do it, and everybody gets into it and they think like, it's like, you know what, I talked to this guy, we shook hands, and then it was a beautiful relationship ever since then. And no fucking relationship is like that. Not if it's successful. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, so it's just, you know, it's just one of those things that, you know what I mean? Like, what are those things that, like, if I'm in Cali and I'm like, you know, I want to start up a little business or whatever, what are some things that I have to, like, look forward to, like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I got to get over this hurdle. Maybe I shouldn't take this personally. Type thing. You know what I mean? This isn't like, you know, there's a difference between like, I'm gonna shit on you and this is constructive criticism in that relationship. You know what I mean? Like, what are some things as a brewer, like, you gotta be like, you know what, this ain't personal, this is constructive criticism.
I think sometimes if you're not having a fight, you just don't care that much.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've been through our spats, and especially like you said, during the build out, stress levels were so high.
Yeah.
You know, and then we all got together and like, okay, you know, we hugged it out and stuff like that, and we go for it. Yeah, right, exactly.
So beer is the one that brings you together.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Good night of drinking on the town, and it'll solve everything.
Yo, so how often do y'all just sit back and kick back as a trio and just drink mad beers, just have a chill out session? Like, is that one of the perks? Because it seems like there's so much going on that you could not, like, have time to enjoy your own product. Like, do you get to with your boys, just kick it? Like, yo, we going through all this together, so now let's just get fucked up. So that's what
I'll be honest. Like, in the daily operation, I rarely ever even have a beer in my hands. To be honest, a lot of people think it's the glory life because, you know, you have unlimited beer at your disposal. But you know, pretty much you see me sipping on some ice water in the building. But we do kick back every once in a while. You know, we've done some sessions where we closed up when at the beginning phases and just let loose.
We seem to do it more before we opened up than we do it now. Yeah. We're so busy.
Yeah, it's crazy now.
Yeah,
you got to take time to enjoy what you do, and it's weird. Like, I don't take time to enjoy myself either. Like, I don't listen to my set, so I listen to the podcast every now and again just to, you know, look what we need to do better. But that's work. That's not even me just enjoying myself. That's me, like, working.
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine if I was, like, creating beer. I know I would stay with a beer in my hand. I'd, like, do some shit. I'd have it in the little squirt bottle or something, a little Gatorade bottle. I'd have my beer. I'd always have my beer in a flask, something.
Yeah, I mean, that was the original thought behind it, but it just doesn't work out that way.
That's not how it goes.
It doesn't work out that way.
You can't walk into that meeting with a flask of beer. It don't roll like that.
Yeah, I would say we let loose probably the most during our shows. You know, at that time, you get to walk around, you mingle with the other breweries and brewers that are around, to get to meet everybody. Usually afterwards, like, we just did one at the Foggy Goggle at Seven Springs, and, you know, pretty much a lot of the brewers went up to the the Matador or whatever that's in there, and we sat up there and had a good time and drank a lot of beer, drank some bourbon, and, you know, just relaxed, kicked it, talked about beer.
So this is the part of the podcast where I'm gonna go break the seal. Before I go,
seal breakers.
Before I go though, what have you learned from, you know, I mean, because you're in that environment as a brewery. I mean, same thing as a comedian or any artistic, whatever you do, you surround yourself with other folks and you learn and you grow as a result of that. Yeah, I mean, so when you're at the Brew Fest and, like, you know, you're you know, shoulder to shoulder with other brewers or whatever, what are some of the things that you learned from other brewers that you know what I mean, like, you use to move forward?
I'm not sure what we learned, but just a sense of camaraderie with, you know, the brewing community as itself. We've also met up with some other brewers and discussed possible collaborations. So it's a good time to you know, speak with, you know, the other brewers and what they want to do and beers they want to make. Yeah,
I would say that's probably one of the biggest things from those is, you know, like he said, doing it, like talking about doing collaborations. You go over, like, we actually went, our neighbor is Quinn Brewery that's on the opposite side of town from Full Pint.
Okay.
And we spoke with them, and, you know, they have some stuff they bring to the table that we're not too familiar with. So, you know, we have the other aspect. We have some things that maybe they're not familiar with, so we can learn from each other and, you know, learn those new traits that you can bring into a beer by working together and just, you know, instead of just pitting heads and, you know, going against each other.
Well, yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed since we started doing this podcast is, like, yo, the craft brew industry is one of the more supportive industries where what could be looked at as your competition. They're very supportive. Everyone kind of works together. Everybody's cool. What do you do when you guys are having the session? Like if you're at a brew festival or something like that, and you guys, all the brewers are kicking it back and having a few beers. What do you do to try to get one of the beers y'all kicking with to be your beer? Like how serious is that competition? Like, hey, we all chilling, drink my beer. You know what I mean? Like, if we all gonna be chilling, enjoying people's shit, I won't mind to be the one that we drink.
I think we all just want to try each other's. It's not like we're shoving it down each other's throat. Like, I want to try theirs.
No
they want to try
guerrilla
ours.
marketing in the session, right?
Right.
I feel you.
And there's not like a lot of competition either. Just because we all try to help us out, each other out. For instance, Full Pint's awesome enough to let us wash our kegs up at their place.
Dope.
We don't have a keg washing system.
I didn't even know
they
the
don't ask
keg
for
washing
anything.
system was a thing that was necessary in brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah, you got to clean them somehow.
Yeah, I thought y'all were just clean them bitches.
Nah,
I thought you just ran a hose on that
Yeah,
bitch.
there's people that do that. They'll basically take them apart and clean them out manually. But I mean, that's like 20, 25, 30 minutes a keg, where we can go up to Full Pint and it's 5-6 minutes a
I
keg.
didn't even know that's crazy. Fucking 2 years into this cast, this is the first time I knew that there was a system that there was a machine that would just clean them bitches.
Machine, yep.
And
Yeah.
shout out to Full Pint for not being petty.
Absolutely.
In most small business, you
Nice
think
kegs you
Red
got
Robin
there.
is letting Fridays wash their dishes in their sink? Hell no.
Nice kegs you got there.
I think they
Be
understand.
ashamed if they got dirty.
I think they understand just like we do that if someone comes to our brewery, they're going to go up to Full Pint. They're going to hit Quinn. I mean,
Right.
it's in that triangle, and we actively tell everybody about the other breweries. So,
It is a product that, to a certain degree, kind of it feeds off variety. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you're into craft beer, it's good to have a taste for a lot of different craft beers. Or otherwise, you're limiting yourself. So it does, like, your business doesn't take away from your competitors, so to speak. It actually adds to them. And
Correct.
Exactly.
that's not how most industries are. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they've actually brought that up too, where they had some of their people that were work up there came down, and they don't see regulars from Full Pint in our brewery drinking all the time. They see new clientele that we're bringing into the market, and they're seeing where that clientele is also popping into their place to try them out. Because in the stretch that we're in, you have Full Pint coming from North for Southside. You got the Full Pint, you got Rivertown's tap room there, then you have us, then you have Quinn down the road. And if you really wanted to, you could drop over the hill to Braddock and go over to Brew Gentleman.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good options right in the local area.
Shout out Woody High. I mean, he's alum now. But no, I mean, no, it is. Because like most people don't, like, as a craft beer drinker, like, I don't just go there and I'm like, I want this same flavor. Like, if you're into craft beer, you're because you want a variety.
Right.
I mean, and a brewery can only give you but so many varieties, and that's why, like, the camaraderie in the scene has been crazy. I mean, just we're on the outside. It's dope because, like, we're not in it, we're not in the muck and mire or whatever. Like, we're just comedians and, like, we, but, like, the beauty of it is that we get to, like, be around and kind of hover around this whole thing, and the community is very tight knit, and, like, and Brewfest, like, when we first got in, we were like, oh, I don't know if we could do podcasts with this person or that person, because then the other people will get mad. But then once you get into the brewing community, they're like, oh yeah, no, we all do the same shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I think more artistic genres could take like a lesson from the brewing community. You know what I mean? Like, because granted, it's highly science, alchemy. It is the perfect marriage of science and art, right? But, like, it's an artistic community in a sense, and that camaraderie is like, look, like, what I'm doing is going to bring attention to what we are all doing.
Well, you guys are like that too as comedians. It seems like you bring a lot of comedians together and have events together. So
not every comedian thinks like that, though. Because at the basis, basically, some people think, look, an individual only has this much disposable income. So if a portion of that is going to you, that portion is not going to me. And they don't look at it as that portion is going to what we do. So, maybe this person chooses you, but because this person has his own network, they may choose me. You know what I mean? Like,
more
you don't,
complicated. I gotcha.
everybody doesn't think that way. So, like, with comedians, it's like, well, if you got a show, that's stage time that I might not get. Because if I'm not one of the other ones on the show, then you took that show from me.
Yeah,
That's how people think.
if you got a show tonight, then you're taking money from my show tonight.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the mentality, but it shouldn't be. The mentality should be the same mentality in the beer community with you and Full Pint, which is like, yo, they came down, they had some good beer. They realized that Miller isn't the only fucking thing that's popping. They were like, oh shit, craft beer? This is amazing. Where else can I get this shit? Well, you can go right down the street. And that's how, that's how we've approached the game. You know what I mean? Me and Ed, like, it's like, oh, you like Norlex? He's fucking cool as shit. That's some dope ass comedy. We're right down the street over here next week. You know what I mean? Like, and that come, but it's not always, like, apparent to everybody. I mean, so
was it super competitive in the cable industry? Like if you was riding down the street with your truck and then you saw somebody getting the files hook up, you start trying to slash the tires and take boxes off the truck.
We all had desk jobs, so we didn't do that.
You wasn't out in the streets with it.
No. We were all desk jobs.
Knocking niggas off poles and shit with BB guns, like
throwing signs at the competitors.
He said 2:00. He ain't here yet. You might as well give him my shit. Got this cable cracking.
They probably be it's probably some dudes that be hiring little neighborhood kids to take the flyers off of people's doors and shit like, yo, you see any red flyers on the door? Just take them off. Bring them back to me. Give them $5 to go to the store. That's a smart business plan. I should have people do that with flyers. I should just have people just walk around and take flyers down. Hit me up if you listening. I'm gonna have you.
You get paid by the pound.
You guys like IPAs?
We do
Okay,
enjoy
perfect.
IPA.
Cool.
So that's the next one on deck. So tell us about this IPA as we pour this.
Well, this IPA is actually one I just came up on the spot one day. When I came in the brewery, I didn't have the hops I needed for the one I wanted to make.
You freestyling.
I freestyled it, yes. Turned out pretty good. We ended up naming it Sid's 1K IPA for his 1,000th
I've heard about the Sid K. I've heard this.
1K.
The legend precedes itself. Tell us.
So, yeah.
You pour heavy all the
Yeah,
time. He don't pour samples.
No. he poured, you ain't going home. Say it like.
But this one has it's Warrior, Centennial, and Citra in it, I believe.
Warrior, Centennial, and Citra.
Yes.
Those are the hops.
Yes, those are the hops.
Ooh, so I know the Citra. I'm a fan of Citra. It's been around long enough. I've heard enough
it's
that
one
I know.
of my favorites.
So tell us about the Warrior and the
Centennial.
Tell us about that. Why you use that and what flavor comes from that?
Warrior is a higher alpha hop, so it's more bittering. We use that on the front end. You don't have to use as much for it. Centennial is just another hop that I like a lot. From Founders Centennial IPA. I've always loved that beer, so that's just one of the hops I like.
Yeah. And then there's this Citra with a little bit of, with a little citrus in there. And it's like, all right, like a little clean, complex. You come in and honestly, this is what I would pound during the Penguins game.
And this is not a beer that's going to be super bitter up front. It's going to be more on the back end.
Well, yeah,
so it's easier to drink.
Yeah, and it gives a little it's an IPA as soon as you get into it or
right.
whatever. And then it rolls over. There's body like a motherfucker in that bitch, and then it falls down. There's citrus, and then you're like, all right,
okay.
Yeah, and there's that.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta. If you
stop
ain't
making that noise on my podcast.
If you ain't beer drinking, you ain't and you ain't drinking it right. You got. All right, I see.
Stop. Why would you continue? Why would you go back? Then extend the noise. Like, chill, B. So, do you guys brew with I guess with scenarios in mind, like in the sense of, like he said, this is what he would pound during the Penguins game. Do you start with that with some beers? Like, what do I want to drink in this situation? Or do you, yeah?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Just go
absolutely.
with I like these hops. What would they taste like together? Because I feel like if I was brewing, I would probably brew situationally, where I'm like, which one of these brews is good for this particular situation? What's good for another situation, etc.
Well, yeah, as a situation is a summer beer that you can sip on outside if it's hot, like a lawnmower beer. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Not for a specific situation. Like this
Right.
one just came about because I was actually at the game where he scored his 1,000th point, and I was like, let's make it like a 1K IPA. And my dad was like, what about Sid's 1K IPA? I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds awesome.
What's a 1K IPA?
Well, he scored his 1,000th.
We know,
point,
I know,
so.
but you were like, why don't we make a? I thought 1K was like a type of.
Nah, just
1K,
saying.
like,
Oh, all right, yeah, you
Yeah.
were like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, this is all a 1K right here? The knockout, like,
No.
all right, yeah.
That's how we got it. So.
Yeah, I mean, you'll do it year round too. I mean, it's not just something like that. We do a lot of seasonal stuff that we're gonna have coming through. For the last Irish Red was our big one that we did, which we actually have a growler over here. I don't know if we're gonna make it to it, but I'll certainly leave it with you guys. But
We'll make it to it.
Yeah, I'll be babysitting. Don't judge it by me over here. I babysit.
I'm working.
we already talked about our livers earlier. So.
Yeah. No, my liver is my liver is understanding. It'll it'll go
adapting.
hard later. And we were talking, because I'm hoping that we can again. Get livers out of like vending machines at some point. By the time my liver goes bad, I'm hoping that I can just like throw a couple dollars in a vending machine.
I liked his idea. Just pour a little water on it; it just forms.
Yeah,
I don't want
Just gross.
I don't want either one of those fucking livers.
Well,
First of all, I wouldn't
guarantee
even
you
you wouldn't even eat a burrito out of a vending machine. You would just have your liver be from a vending machine.
You don't know my lane. From a vending machine, if I'm hungry enough and I'm in the wrong
And you
enough
see
area,
a burrito, you
and I
get a
see
burrito.
that man, that's
You gonna
$1.
put a fucking $1.25 in a machine and watch your fucking burrito, watch a fucking thing pull up, come grab your burrito, go back and then drop your burrito and it rolls out.
Man,
You're like,
What
I
if
gotta
it
put
just
this
gets
in the
hung there?
microwave?
Yo,
Just gets hung up. Damn liver.
You know
just
how mad you would be
hanging there.
if your fucking your liver's in balance. You just sitting there like, my life is over.
But what did you get the
Pounding
two
on the
for?
machine.
Did you get two for? Yeah, I mean, like that motherfucker get tired of hitting the machine and walk off like George Costanza, and now you get 2 for 1. Yeah, I mean, I got one for me and I'm gonna have you one. Yeah, I mean, like a little profit. Who need a liver? Like that bitch on ice, save it for later.
No.
That's the future, man. That's where we go to. Vending machine, motherfuckers, like stem cells and all that shit. You don't think 20 years from now we would just be buying like motherfucking like organs off of eBay? Barely used.
I think based on the movie,
barely
Shipped here in 2
used.
days.
lungs.
first of all, based
Like
on
new
the movie
condition.
Get Out, I think they already go online and buy organs. Somebody's out there selling organs, all right? Like somebody, he just come up with that. He didn't just think of that movie out of the blue. He read an article and was like, we should make a movie about the black market organ business. You know how rich the motherfucker is in the black market organ
And they're
business?
actually black organs.
Yeah. Like he's like the dude that made the shit from Limitless.
Nah, man, I'm looking forward to the day where I could just like, get the free shipping on a liver because I got Amazon Prime. I mean, like that'll be the move. What the fuck we were asking a poignant
We
question.
weren't asking a pointed question. I don't know what the hell you went into. I want to get a liver out this motherfucker.
We're talking about seasonal beers, and he goes into a liver out of a petri dish.
That's how you, as a brewer, that's how you know your beer is good. The more Day mumbles and fucking goes on rants, the more effective the beer. If Day is coherent the whole podcast,
You
there's
ain't
something
doing it
wrong.
right.
We'll take it.
You
We'll take it.
You ain't doing it right.
So what do you think the future of the beer business is? I mean, you guys like have a futuristic type of brewing thing with it's automated. Like what do you think the next step is? Or even just with the brewing process, what gets introduced that makes it easier, that lessens the burden on the actual brewer? Are there things that get introduced, or have people just been doing it pretty much the same?
Yeah, what's the techie side of it?
I mean, as far as like the actual process itself, it doesn't really change too much.
Okay.
The automation was the biggest thing that I did for Ryan that we talked about. If you're doing it knobs and switches or turning things on and off constantly, it's more attention that he has to just kind of sit there and stare at it and tweak everything as it goes, where right now he can literally just push a button and say, hey, boil this for 60 minutes at this temperature and hold it.
Right. I can just set it to where I want it to be.
Oh, so you're gonna be able to do that with your cell phone in like 3
I can actually.
Oh shit!
Believe it or not.
What?
I can be at home. I can wake up. I have the app on my phone, and
There's already an app.
Yeah, there's an app for it.
And after that,
I can turn on a hot liquor tank so it's warm by the time I get there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
It saves me about an hour.
I
in my
ain't
day.
got a fucking remote starter in my car yet.
You got to get you one of those.
This fucker's brewing from his bed. Like, that's like
You feel super swag with that shit. Like when you say it to the other brewers, like, yeah, I woke up and I rolled over, I turned my shit, got it going.
Don't you hate it when the when the fermenter
When the
goes
app-
off while you're in bed? Like, what?
Hate when the app doesn't load. You gotta actually do it. Like, yo, that's how old head brewers probably looking at y'all listening to this podcast mad as hell. What you mean you could do this from your phone?
Yeah, I can control the temperature of fermenters as well. So if I need to ramp it up day by day, I can do that. If there's a problem, it will send us emails letting us know that's getting too high. The temperature is getting too high. It's pretty cool.
And then you were talking about growth. We actually build it so that we can take that with us. So if we move to a bigger facility and go to like 15 barrels on steam, this panel literally just transplants to it and goes right to steam.
And that's a shout out to our friend Chris at Fermentation Automation.
Absolutely.
He's the one that hooked us up with that.
Fermentation on Mason.
No, automation. Fermentation automation.
Fermentation automation.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even. This is the first.
If you didn't know, you know. I don't know. I thought you knew about this whole.
This is a whole new.
We're the first ones that build it
robots.
for, so that's why.
Yeah, we were.
You know what I'm thinking now? This is a stupid thought, but like, how many apps are in the App Store? Like, cause you only look for the apps that you would use,
yeah.
But you don't know what there are apps for people to control beer fermentation.
There might be a
from
cancer.
the crib. Like, there's some. There's no telling what there's an app.
There
for,
might be a
and that makes
cancer
me scared.
curing app that no
That we
motherfucking
just
body
ain't-
know about.
You just ain't got
'cause they didn't
access to that.
They didn't do Google Analytics right, so yeah, I mean, like they don't nobody know about this cancer curing app, and y'all got fucking beer fermenting apps just on your phone. and shit.
What's more important, beer or new liver? I guess they go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, there's definitely an app to get you a liver.
We just don't know
I don't
about
know
it.
what it's called, but you definitely can download it. And it's the Tinder of livers. Like you look at
You swipe right at it. No.
like you
Yes.
just looking at somebody's profile. You're like, you know what? I don't want shit from her. Nothing from him. Nope. They don't take care of it. You're okay. Yeah, you take care of everybody. They got that person in some morgue somewhere. Cut the fuck open.
Oh,
It's
man.
scary.
Technology is going to dominate everything. Are you worried about robots taking over your jobs?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
No. Why?
Still need a brain.
Yeah.
You still got to come up with it. And you can only get so far on automated processes. And we're probably at the peak of what we could automate, and there's still tons of manual labor that has to be done. There's no way around it.
I would love for a robot to pick up that grain and throw it in the mash tun fry. It would just make my day so much easier.
Yeah.
You gotta get your better app store. You gotta go in the app store. More general searches. Just search robots to see how many apps there are for robots. There's probably
I just saw last week on Twitter or whatever, they got the first AI sex bot. So I feel like
I'm not feeling that at all.
I'm not feeling it either. I'm just
not
saying that
feeling
if you could, if you got an intelligent motherfucker that could fuck at some point, somebody could maybe do some.
I just feel like that could turn really bad really quickly.
Yeah, they just like the Kegels go wrong on the sensors, and
I
then
just
your
think-
dick's locked on it. Yeah, I don't.
I just think of iRobot and just like them going rogue.
Yeah. And they would have you hooked because that sex bot probably got that wet. Like that shit, that shit is gonna be perfect. That shit was created in a lab with a dude with a PhD. Like that vagina is gonna be the best vagina ever because it don't get pregnant. Like it's
like
it don't get
Westworld.
pregnant or disease.
They're gonna learn as men keep fucking these bots. They're gonna learn how to best get the nut, and it's gonna go to a thing, and they're gonna have 2.0 and 3.0, and then they're gonna know the best way, and then that's gonna be
And they capture your DNA.
And they're gonna get it's gonna
You
that's
buy it with a different technique, kind of like a Carlin option. This has the suck technique. This is a 3-hole version. Like, ain't no telling what the
And
fuck
then
you be able to
Microsoft
buy.
has your DNA.
Yeah,
I'm turning all the permissions off on my sex bot. No, you cannot have access to my strokes. You cannot have access to my time and location. As soon as I get that bitch, I'm taking that shit out. I'm fucking in secret. You ain't getting none of this.
and you know they giving it to the army first. The army's gonna get it first because because whoever comes up with this, he's gonna go to his country and say, "Hey, we can eliminate America's army just by having a bunch of sex bots running rapid in the barracks." Motherfucker have a sex bot in his duffel bag under his mattress, and his sergeant don't say nothing because he got one in his room too, and they just weak. They don't want to fight no more. They busting too many nuts. Too many nuts.
Know the perfect fucking second round time. You know how in the second round you get the first one off. That bot knows exactly how long it takes you to get the second one. You be like, you know what? Maybe I should go fight some war. Nah.
You could change the settings. It could go from longevity to efficiency. Like efficiency is you masturbate. I need this nut as quickly as possible, and it's got a twirl motion that just gets it up out of you.
Oh, so you're not worried about the sex bots? Take it over. That's cool.
I am worried.
There could be worse things.
Definitely
that will be the end of the males because women aren't. You know what I mean? Like that will be their secret weapon that will just completely destroy us. Because we'll just be paused. It'll be like the Matrix, man. We'll just be in there, and we'll just be there to lift heavy things. We'll basically be there to lift heavy things and provide semen and be fucked by bots.
Again, there could be worse things.
Like old Futurama with the snoo-snoos. Like the Amazons. They just pounded their pelvises to obliteration. But they were cool because, I mean, it's snoo-snoo. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at that. If you're listening, any engineers out there, you're listening, you're thinking like, because, part
Ain't
of
no engineers listening.
They quit a while ago.
There's a little engineering in brewing. If you're still listening, and you're like, there's that startup. That's the startup. You know what I mean? Snoo.
All right, so the next beer you're about to drink, it's called Crack. CRAIC.
And you gave me a
Okay, wait. I got to get the other one.
Crack.
So Crack's a seasonal we're going to make. It's an Irish red ale. And in Irish, it means having a good time. That's why we named it that. So it's appropriate.
I'm 1/16 Irish, so
I'm something Irish. I'm part of it somewhere.
That is wow. That's a red ale?
It's an Irish red. It's my version of an Irish red. Yeah.
Mom.
You have to stop making sounds. Man.
It's the mouthfeel because every brew makes you do something else with your mouth. Like some are like a and some of them are like a that gets you in the back and you're like and then some of them are like a ma. You know what I mean? Like I can't describe it.
Let's go to our judges with this one. Is that true or not?
Yes, I get a ma from it as well.
You can get a moi from your sex robot. This is ridiculous.
Oh, that's heavy. What is that?
It's only 5.5%.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not a whole
red.
Right.
And it tastes like that. This shit is heavy.
That's probably our niche that coming in. We were talking about niche in the market is none of our beers should ever taste like they're thin. Right. Everything we do, we always strive full body on everything. Even this is 5.5. That the lighter one, the Weiss Khalifa you drank earlier, that was only 4.5. But it still has that full body. Right. It doesn't have that water.
So you're not going to get that wateriness to it. You're going to get a full body to it. Yep.
Where it's all like air and water. You know what I mean? Right. Like this just feels heavy. It feels way heavier than a 5. Yeah.
What's the highest ABV you've brewed?
We have one called Stealth. It's around 8%.
Okay.
It's a stout.
It's the stepchild of Fury of Darkness, which is up there well over 10.
It was 13.5 was the original that I made.
13.5.
But we had to dial back a little bit for our system. So
yeah. So what is that like? When you're talking about ABV levels or whatever, what are some of the things that you run into? Because like for you, I guess the hurdles or what's tough about brewing a big bodied low alcohol or even going up to like the barley wine almost like with the 13s and shit like that. Like
It's really just having a big enough mash tun, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The grain bill the higher the alcohol, the more grain you're putting in for the same volume. We top out at like 7.5 on our current system. So for him to do something that was a 13, we'd have to do 2-3 mashes before we could actually fill 100 gallons into a fermenter.
Right. Which we will eventually do
Uh-huh.
because I like really heavy alcohol beers.
Yeah.
So,
So how do you get this? I don't know if it's a trade secret. I mean, but how do you do this body like with the load? Like, because you don't see a lot of that. I mean, I've seen recently a new wave is just like high alcohol is cool. We've done that. Like, I mean, but like now there's this kind of like slingshot effect, like where it's going back in the other direction with like, lower ABVs, but still has the body and the feel and the taste of the higher ABVs. Because before it was just like, if I was going to get like a good taste and a good, everything that I had to go, 8% or whatever. And like now, like, you can, like with this is a 5, like how do you do that? Like,
there's a couple different ways. One is grain selection, what you're using. The other one would be your mashing temperature. The higher you mash, the less fermentables you get, the more mouthfeel that you're going to get. And then there's also water chemistry, messing around with the salts in the water as well.
I didn't even know salts in the water.
So when you think of a beer, do you automatically? So when you think of an idea of a type of beer, do you automatically, at that point, decide what the ABVs will be, or does that just come with however you decide to brew it, or however it's brewed? Or because like if you think, I want a chocolate stout, do you think I want a chocolate stout that's gonna be 8.5 ABVs? Just like, is this just how it came out?
It probably just pretty much how it comes out. We write the recipe. I mean, we have a target in mind you want to be at, but once you finish the recipe, it's not like we'll say like, hey, we want this to be 5.5, and then we just hit that recipe for that. We'll target the style, which will have a broad spectrum, usually with like 3%. Okay. And you'd basically build into that and kind of where it ends up. And we may tweak or add more if we think that we need to boost it, and then make the adjustments from there. And in this case here with the Stealthy was talking about with the stout, we reduced, we brought it down because 13.5% was a little ridiculous for something that people are going to be drinking. And
just starting off with, I mean, we want to do it. It's just, as a new brewery, that wasn't a beer that we wanted to come out of the gates with right away.
So now you just got a bunch of 13.5s at the crib.
In the nose tag.
Yeah, like if you're listening, you'll know if City Slick is your real friend if you have that 13.5. If you ain't had it, y'all cool, but y'all ain't cool. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Yeah, our plan's to release that around our 1 year too.
Yeah.
So that's our plan. Is in the next 2 months here, we're gonna actually strike a batch of that up and get it fermented, and then we're gonna let it age. And on our 1 year anniversary, we're gonna release a batch.
That's something we'd like to put into bourbon barrel. So I mean,
bourbon.
Yeah.
Bourbon barrel. I'm in there. I'm in that.
we'll save you a bottle.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys coming by and bringing us all this delicious beer. Do we have another beer to try, or are you guys?
I think that's it.
Just Jack was last one.
I've survived. Ed is still working on his.
Yeah, I'm over here taking baby steps, but I almost died this year, and that's my I say that for everything. I use that as an excuse for everything.
And you get off with it every time because I ain't got I'm just like, you know what, you're right.
Cop was trying to give me a ticket downtown. I was like, you gonna give me? Nigga, I almost died this motherfucking year, man. You was trying to give me a ticket, man.
I got a retort for everything. I'm like, you're right. Tell the audience where they can find you guys.
We have a Facebook page. It's just Facebook/Fury Brewing. We have a website, furybrewing.com. What's the plug on Instagram?
We're on Instagram and Twitter as Fury Brewing. So we try to keep everything the same.
This is good
I thought they was gonna say brand recognition. I thought he was gonna say
I was too drunk. It was on the tip of my brain. That's not mouth filter.
Feel good, like listeners. This beer is so good today. He not only surpassed his mumble. He just made a bunch of shit that said a bunch of shit that didn't make any sense. So on the Bracy meter, it's a 10. Now we do want to thank you, Day. let the people know where they can find us.
Well, if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn.
Partner spot. You got a partner spot here. Yo, this is good. Listen. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. This shit's real.
This shit is real. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod.
Hey, we want to thank Tom and Ryan from Fury for coming through, hanging with us. As always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. And we out of here. Sorry if we got super interviewy that one. So
I felt like I was stabbing you guys.
I don't want to feel like an informant. I'm just letting you know this was all for entertainment and for knowledge.